Ahava, blessings, and welcome to all of you. Welcome to this video, and I'm just going to talk briefly about the full moon in Aries, and just a few minutes to give you some guidelines and maybe some insight for navigating these very strong energies that we're going through right now. So October is a very powerful month. We've got two full moons, and so throughout the whole 2020 year, I think October is going to be one of the most powerful months ahead in the light and in the dark. So as we all know that Mars is retrograde in the sign of Aries right now. So we're going to have a full moon in Aries, and so the Mars retrograde will be activated even stronger. And some of the symptoms that you may be feeling, that you may have been feeling in these past months with the Mars retrograde, could be anger issues or impatience or a lot of tiredness. I've been speaking to a lot of people who have been very, very tired in these last weeks, and a feeling of being overwhelmed and maybe not being able to get everything done because Mars is impatient. So just as we approach this full moon, we need to remember that, Aries and Mars is about Mars especially is about the warrior. And it is about the spiritual warrior, but the shadow side will be the patriarchal warrior, all of this control and ego issues that we've been going through. So just remember that we do live in a polarity planet, and every time we go into some very, very strong energies and planetary energies, remember that we can work with them with the light or in the dark, and that's our decision. That really is our decision. So when we know about these cosmic alignments or vibrations, it's so much easier to understand what is going on and focus on the light. So just let's take a look at the numerology again for 2020. Now remember that 2020 is a number 4 year, so it is about the builder and it's about constructing. But if we look at the 2020, again, it's a 2020. And remember that 2, if we take this number code, and 2 is that feminine yin energy that speaks about duality going into unity. So if we take that first 2 and we can maybe think about all of the duality that we've been living in or on the planet, and then take it to the 0, which is the origin, it's the infinite space of possibilities, it's the womb space, and bring it back to that space, maybe to purify. And then we have another 2, why not bring in the unity? And then within that unity, go back into that 0, that void space, and bring in something new. So we are birthing something new, and it's very important to understand that although we're very excited that we're going into this new paradigm, we are in this new Aquarian age, we can always live it as a humanity in the light or in the dark, and that depends on us, and I think this is very important to understand. So Mars will be creating a square with Saturn. There's a Mars-Saturn square in this moon, so it will be even more intense because Saturn, I love the planet Saturn, but Saturn does like to punish. Saturn is an authority planet, it is the father figure, and Saturn has been, we've been using these Saturn energies in a very patriarchal way, reptilian way, and now it is time to even purify these Saturn energies. But Mars and Saturn, there is a square, and there's a lot of influence with the Pluto, and Pluto leaves the retrograde right after the full moon, I think about on the 4th of October. So this is a very, very strong energy, and we're about to purge something is about to explode. And a lot of astrologers are saying that the world as we know it and as we have known it will finish and this full moon, and we'll start something totally new. But remember, when we start something totally new, it's not shanti, it's not peaceful maybe in the beginning, it's the last push. And like I said, this is in October. October is a very, very powerful month in this whole year, and I think it's probably going to be the most difficult for, but like I said, even the word difficult can have a duality and something positive, so I don't want to scare you. So let's just talk about the things that we can do. And the moon is conjunct Chiron, so Chiron is the wounded healer, and he is also the rainbow bridge. Okay, so when Chiron is around, we do have an opportunity to elevate our awareness. It's about consciousness. So let's bring all of this down to something practical. I really think that it's a beautiful moment to cultivate the divine masculine. And when I say cultivate, understand what the divine masculine is and move away from the shadow masculine that we have been living in. And through forgiveness, through understanding, through knowing that all of this is part of evolution as well, cultivate the divine masculine and within us, men, women on the planet, and to understand that what the divine masculine is here to do. Because of course, when we think of the divine masculine, we've got a lot of beautiful energies, but we start to think of authority, right? But there's nothing wrong with authority if it's sacred and if it's aligned with being assertive and knowing what we're here to do. It's not that type of authority that controls and is aggressive. So when we tune into these divine masculine energies, it's understanding that it's very, very important to focus on the warrior of light, the warrior that wants to be a spiritual warrior. I see this full moon very much seventh chakra, and I know you may think I'm nuts talking about that on an Aries full moon, because Aries is like so first chakra, so connected to the red color, to the blood, to our survival. But when I say seventh chakra, because I think we have an opportunity in this full moon in Aries to align with our spiritual authority and our spiritual royalty. Really, our spiritual royalty is understanding that there is something so much more beautiful than everything that we are seeing, and it is all about understanding that we are spirit we come here and we incarnate into this body, and we're here to do something beautiful. And that spiritual authority is allowing spirit to guide us. And why not allow spirit to guide us and be this powerful warrior of light? And it doesn't mean that we have to go on a spiritual crusade. Be a warrior of light in our lives, in our families, in our communities, in our work. So when we cultivate these energies of the divine masculine, it's very, very important to forgive, to go through a forgiveness process of all that we've been through on the planet. And it's very important to take all that Piscean energy that we've come from, even though we have lived it in the shadow. We could do the same with this Aquarian age. So let's just focus. Take all that Piscean energy that is about oneness. You know, everyone speaks about the Aquarian age being oneness, but Pisces really symbolizes the oneness. And even though we lived in separation, Pisces is the mystic. Pisces is the totality. Pisces is dissolving into the oneness, the consciousness, the God, the goddess. So let's take all of that and bring it into this full moon. Just bring that into this full moon and we can align with Yeshua, we can align with King Arthur, with John the Baptist, with all these divine masculine light beings, and bring this energy in to cultivate an action, an action that is actually infused with spirit. So we're going to start taking divine action in our lives. Now remember, when we have a full moon, the full moons our mother moon is pregnant. She's about to burst. So we can take the energy that is of the full moon and activate higher levels of thinking, higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of being, higher levels of doing. And we can, and it's an opportunity for releasing. It is a purge, and there's something going on right now that's very powerful, and we can see everything just go, whereas we're going into this October month. All of us I think we all are ready to navigate this roller coaster. And if we're not, we really need to focus on our spiritual practice or do some type of practice that will keep us grounded, even if it's running or going to the gym. It's really, really important to be here and to be present. So a few more guidelines that we can use to cultivate this is to understand that we are breaking a karmic cycle as a collective. We are breaking a karmic cycle as a collective humanity. So just take time to see what are the karmic cycles that you've broken during this pandemic. And I really encourage you to to honor the amazing strength that you have to be going through. I mean, all of us, we have this amazing strength right now and perseverance to be going through this. And we did sign up for this. I mean, we signed up to be here on this moment and this planet. And just remember that to be a divine spiritual warrior and cultivating the energies of the divine masculine, it's very important to be in the neutral mind. And that is a beautiful archetype of the feminine energy as well, when we connect with the feminine in her androgyny. So bring in that divine masculine, and through the compassion of the heart, be in the neutral mind, understanding that there is no truth 100% in everything that we are listening to, and use your body as a barometer to understand what resonates with you. Don't explode. Don't get angry with this full moon in Aries. Don't get impatient, and use this energy to cultivate your spiritual royalty, to bring in all of that Piscean sacred energy, and just allow it to be in your bubble of energy, to take action, because Aries likes to take action into doing something new. Do something new, work in new ways, love in new ways, create in new ways, cook in new ways, be in new ways. And remember, Aries is about new beginnings at the end of the day. So just remember that we are all doing this together, and 2020 is about community. And remember that you're not alone if you're listening to this. I mean, we're all in this together. And in our ceremony, I will be hosting a ceremony like always, and the new moon and the full moons I always do. And the full moon ceremony, we will be cultivating the energies of the divine masculine through the teachings of Yeshua and John the Baptist. And we will be connecting with the Christ light of Yeshua and understanding the Piscean energy that we need to bring into the Aquarian age. If not, it will go into the shadow. And then we're going to understand the teachings of John the Baptist as the lunar divine masculine. We're going to work with the Christ divine masculine, that Christ light solar energy, and the lunar divine masculine, understanding that lunar aspect of the male as well. And I'm really excited about this. I'm ready to really just embrace that divine masculine energy with all of you. And just remember that if you have any questions, you can email me, you can ask questions here in social media, or contact me on my website. So happy to be with all of you. Have a lovely and blessed full moon in Aries. Ahava.